Hello, everyone. This is Rex Red. I am live again, and we are broadcasting here on the CBB TV, and that stands for Cakewalk by Band Lab TV. And that's what we are doing. We are working in Cakewalk by Band Lab. And I am going to do, I have a song that I'm here working on. This is kind of part 2 to this video because last night I sung the vocals and I've got the vocals pretty much now nailed down. And what I would like to do is add some oohs and ahs and some harmonies possibly, maybe some dubs. So I'm going to do a little bit more work, vocal work here in the song. And here is my lead vocal. So I'm going to right click here in this little blank area. And I'm going to go insert audio track. And then I'm going to click on this to arm the track. And then I'm going to select the mono input for my vocal mic here that I'm talking through. So yeah, it took me a long, like, years to figure out how to use the same mic for broadcasting. Years and quite some investment. So a few $1,000s in investment to be able to use the same mic that I'm using to speak to you through the live broadcast that I use to record with. And it also has kind of developed over time also, where I was using the Shure the B, something B, I can't remember. Gosh, I paid $400 for that mic, and it was great for podcasting, but I found a lot of problems when I tried to use it for singing, and it didn't have enough high end and crispness, and so for my style of singing, now that may not be for everyone's style, but for mine, it did not seem to have enough crispness. And I had to switch to a large diaphragm condenser mic. And it was like, this mic cost $100 versus the Shure was SMB. I'm not sure. There's something B in it, 3B, I don't know. Okay, so what I have is here. In the midnight blue. Now what I'm going to try to do here is get my voice to be a little bit louder. I'm not sure that my voice is even awake or ready to sing right now, but that's what you have to do. You have to kind of sing on demand. And so that's what we're going to try to do here. And so I'm going to have to think for a moment what I'm going to do here. All right, I'm going to try and get my voice so I can bring my mic up so I can hear myself, and that's important. So in order for me to hear what I'm singing, and I have to have it kind of loud so that I can really hear what I'm inputting in the tone and the character of what I'm singing. And in order to do that, I have to turn down the music. Oh. In the midnight. And that also means to turn down the lead vocal. Ooh, night blue, I think of you, loving me as I surely love you, and we both share a love for all time. think I'm going to do it kind of like that. All right, that's the ooh part. Ooh, so I'm not sure. I got to do to practice this one more time. In the midnight blue, I think of you, ooh, loving me as I surely love you. Ooh. And we okay. Ooh, ooh. All right. Well, I think I can just do this now. Options. Let's go to options. On stop, rewind to now. So then, when it stops, it doesn't. We go to options here and on stop, rewind to now marker. I have to turn that on like all the time. Sometimes there's a hotkey that might turn it off. Not sure what that is, but what it does is when I stop Cakewalk, it doesn't stop like where it is, like up here. It doesn't stop and leave the now marker position thing right there. It leaves it. It brings it back to where I started it from, okay? All right. In the midnight blue, I think of you, ooh, loving me as I surely love you, ooh, and we both share a love for all time. There it is. Okay, there's one. That sounded like it's going to be loud. In the midnight blue, I think of you, ooh, loving me as I surely love you, ooh, and we both share a love for all time. All right, so that's going to be the second ooh, something similar to that. All right, but I'm going to have to work that out a little bit. We're going to pan this here and pan that there, so there's kind of a difference. You won't hear that difference until I play it back, but now I'm going to come here and move this down a little more. We're going to input my mic again, mic number 1. Now these oohs and ahs, you can sing them with the music blasting and kind of like just sing them while you mix them into the song. You don't want to do that. You want to sing these with your voice very present in the mix, because what'll happen is you'll sing it, it sounds fine, but then when you listen to it alone, you're going to be like shocked at how bad it is, because it just sounds fine when everything's all kind of blasting and loud and mixed in. So that's why you have to make sure your voice, when you input it into the song, that your voice is very present, okay? In the midnight blue, I think of you, loving me as I surely love you, ooh, and we both share a love for all time. Okay, I think I got it. In the midnight blue, I think of you, ooh, loving me as I surely love you, ooh, and we both share a love for all time. All right, there is another one. Okay, so now when we listen to this, we should. In the midnight blue, I think of you, ooh, loving me as I surely love you, ooh, and we both share a love for all time. Ooh, Okay, we have to add a new. All right, so we're going to call this mid. Okay, we're going to call this high. And this one we're going to call insert audio low. All right, I low. Okay, low. And then what we do here, input, zoom. Yeah. So here we go. Now we're gonna in the midnight blue, I think of you, loving me as I surely love you, and we both share a love for all time. All right, I think I've got it. In the midnight blue, I think of you. No, that didn't work. Too breathy. In the midnight blue, I think of you, loving me as I surely love you, and we both share a love for all time. That, it's okay, but I just don't feel good about that. The lower you sing, the more air it takes, like, and you run out of air sooner, okay? In the midnight blue, I think of you, loving me as I surely love you, and we both share a love for all time. Well, the last one I didn't do too well. Here, let's see what we got here. In the midnight blue, I think of you, loving me as I surely love you, and we both share a love for all time. Let me hear that last note. For all time. I guess that's okay. All right, so now we've got to do the ahs now. So, okay, so in the midnight blue, all right, so we're going to start some new tracks. Insert. This is going to be mid. We'll try to follow the same pattern. Mid for the mid voice. Okay, and this is going to be here, like, and we're going to select our mic. And we're going to turn this to, which side is our mid going to? To the right. Okay. And let's just make sure I don't have anything wrong going on here. Okay, so, all right, we'll go. I think we're ready. The cherries that bloom on a summer's day, how sweet you are in every. All right. Oh. Cherries that bloom on a summer's day, how sweet you Now, did I do that right? For all time. All right, this I'm not supposed to go up on that, I guess. For all time. For all All right, not too big on that one here. For all time. All right, I think I have this set. Yes, for comping, okay. For all time. All right. For all time. I'm not sure that I like any of this right here. The cherries that bloom on a summer's day. How sweet you are in every way. That sentimental love for all time. That's the one that goes up. Okay. So we're going to try these out. The uhs are harder than the oohs, okay? It's just because your voice is open and it's so kind of like right there. Did I do this one yet? No. Okay, this is going to be the high. All right. It takes a lot of like focus, kind of. The cherries that bloom. All right, I can. The cherries that bloom on a summer's day. How sweet you are in every way. That sentimental love for all. Okay, that didn't work. Every way. That's every way. That sentimental love for all time. Every way. That sentimental love for all time. 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 All right, I think that kind of works. And then we're going to go here with insert. Now we got to do the low. A low. Okay, and our mic in. And we have this one gets set over to here, I guess. And then this one gets set here. So, and we're going to turn it down because it's going to blast us when we're done. So we might as well do the cherries that bloom on a summer's day. The cherries that bloom on a summer's day. How sweet you are in every way. That sentimental love for all time. There it is. Okay, so the oohs and the ahs are done. Cherries that bloom on the summer's day. How sweet you are. I'm a little bit late there, but I'll kind of drag that ahead and fix that one. So that's easy to fix. Okay, the oohs and the ahs, and then I'll just copy these and put them in different places in the song. So once I get them edited. So with your hand in mine. Okay, so a love for all time. With your hand in mine. A bouquet to relay a love for all time. A love for all time. Love for all time. A love for all time. All right, I'm going to try these harmonies. I don't know if they're going to work. I might end up just getting rid of them if they don't work. We're going to have 3-part harmony here. I think, maybe 4. A love for all time. A love for all time. A love for all time. With your hand in mine. Okay. Now I'm going to have to really work on these. These are going to be harder. With your hand in mine. A bouquet to relay a love for all time. All right, so we're going to do that there. And then we're going to do one more. And this is harmony high. And this is going to be harmony low. Just so that when I go to sing at the end of the song and add the same harmonies, I know which one is which. I don't have to go back and say, well, which one was high and which one was low? Okay. A love for all time. 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 Okay, it would help if that's what happens when you don't set the mic right. You end up with it on one side and the other side, no signal. A love for all time. With your hand in mine. A bouquet to relay love for all time. All right, let's see how that sounds now. A love for all time. What happened to this? Why aren't you playing? A love for all time. Oh, I recorded something here. We have the same thing twice. Okay. What did I do here? Okay, this, I assume it's these two that are the good ones here. All right. A love for all time. All right. What did I do? With your hand. Okay, so it's this here. All right. This is the right one here. A love for all time. A love for all time. With your hand in mine. A bouquet to relay right, so we're gonna go up on that. For all time. For all time. Okay. This is really difficult because these chords here are like the most complex kind of chords you can. They are like cluster chords, you know what I'm saying? And these cluster chords are really hard to sing a harmony to, okay? So now we're going to go here to For all time. Here we go. A love for all time. Love for all time. All right. We're looking for this harmony high. A love for all time. Okay, that's not going to work. A love for all time. With your hand in mine. A kiss to seal our love for all time. Did I record that? Okay, yeah. A love for all time. Okay, we're ready for the lower harmony. A love for all time. Your hand in mine. A kiss to seal our love for all time. All right, so this part I don't feel too good, right? A kiss to seal our love. A kiss to seal our love for all time. And the oohs and ahs, the oohs will be coming in there, I believe. So, maybe a violin, a fiddle or something, a violin actually, yeah, not a fiddle. Well, violin and fiddle are the same thing, but violin is a little bit more classical, where a fiddle is more country. And I think this calls more for a classical kind of violin, like a string quartet. It doesn't mean that you don't use string quartets in country, but okay, we have to close down. I think it is Steam. I think Steam is giving me these every time someone logs online. We'll close down BattleNet as these gaming, my gaming. Epic. And I think there's one more here, but maybe not. Yeah, there is. UVI Soft. Let's close them down. All right, so I don't think I'm going to have any dubs in this. So we're just going to go with our we're just going to go with these the harmonies, the oohs, and the ahs. Okay, now we're going to just double check our oohs and ahs and make sure, see that we don't have this kind of thing happening. And I have to bring this down here. We have to get rid of that. Ooh. The I guess. Bring this down here. And we'll join them together. Oops, what did I just do? Okay, that's good. Bring this out here. And we got another. I had to re-sing this a few times too. A couple of lines. See, I've never sung these harmonies before. I didn't even get to practice them, you know. I just kind of, as you saw how much practice I got, I just kind of like, it's just the way I can just sing harmonies on the fly. Yeah, so these are the ahs. 1, 2, 3. We got ahs. We're going to get rid of this, remove that. And and that's the only, we only have, we're going to copy these and paste them where we need them. So we don't need, now these oohs and ahs, at least the ends and beginnings have to be trimmed to, so that when I copy them, I can copy them to Angus. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Very nice to have you here. Thank you very much for the like. I just got done singing the oohs and ahs. So Sigmund asked me if he wanted me to have him help me, but I said, these ones aren't too high, Sigmund. You can go and watch TV with Marlo. So they're in the other room. They're taking it easy on this song. They don't have to sing. So, yeah. So I'm going to take a chance that these, I can bring these in that close to the end. And hopefully I won't have a problem with that. So... And now the harmonies, I had to sing them in 2 different areas. These won't get copy and pasted, so we don't have to worry about them. So what we're going to do is we're going to put now our Melodyne on these. Region effect and tune them and make them pretty. So welcome, people. Welcome. Welcome to this music tutorial, me making the songs that you hear on the Flock of Angels channel. This is where they come from. I work on them and make them for you all. So now this song, somebody purchased this song. I'm not sure who did. They don't tell me who purchases my music. I guess that's only they're allowed to know who purchases my music. And but I guess it's no big deal. But all right, now this okay, there are 3 of them here. Okay, I just had to make sure why. Okay, there's supposed to be 3 of them. So we right click here, region effect, Melodyne, create region effect, and it will put them separately on each track. Okay, there, and then we can see them populating here in Melodyne. And then we have, oops, this is scrolling a little too fast. Here we go, right click, region effect, Melodyne, create region effect. And we have the oohs done as well now. So now we can come in here and work on the oohs and ahs in Melodyne. We have the oohs selected first. We're going to get rid of the breaths in front here. So yes, we are working on music today. This song just doesn't feel done. And when a song, you know, this is a very simple, just kind of, even though the song is simple and and I could get, you know, away with just keeping, you know, the piano and a few other things in the song and say, "Oh, it's done." That's not the way I make music. I go the extra mile and make sure that my songs have something that keeps them interesting, so keeps people interested in listening to them again and again and again, so that they and so in order to do that, you have to add like oohs and ahs and things like that into the song. That's just the way it is. So we're now these all have to end at the same place, right about there. So and that one's going a little long. You want them to switch around the beat. Let's listen to this. And we both share a love for... All right, that's good. Now we're going to cut these here and here. And we're going to take and grab... Okay, we got to cut this also here. And then what we'll do is we'll cut this here and here and let those bends kind of do their own thing. And we don't have a bend there and here. And then what we do is we grab these pieces like this, this, and those. We're not going to tune them perfectly. We're just going to tune them so that they're closer. Even though they sound like they're already in tune, we're going to tune that up to 90 for pitch-wise, and we're going to do the pitch drift at around 70. So it keeps a little bit of my own kind of intent. And we both share a love for... All right, so that's how you do it, folks. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to chop this here, here. And we're going to line these up first. Everything in the correct order. Yeah, in the correct continuity. You have continuity. It's like when you're making a story, a play or a story. You don't want them something to happen before that, you know, that it's like somebody, you know, they fall in love before they meet. You can't, you know, that's what continuity is about. They have to meet first and then they fall in love. You could have a flashback of them meeting, but that flashback has to do with continuity as well, because it's like at that moment in the story they're recalling or recollecting when they met. So it's still continuity. It's that moment when they recollected. So that's why you so a story has to have continuity. And that's what, like when I make a video on my Flock of Angels channel, I have to think about continuity when I make the video, because I'm taking this 2-hour movie and I'm chopping it up in little bits and pieces, and you have to still follow along the story to some degree. Like you can't have them meet at the end of us, like, hi, my name, and shake hands and meet each other and so, for the first time at the, you know, at the end of the movie, unless it's something, again, another like recollection kind of thing. But loving me as I surely love you, and we all right, there's another one done. So we're going to copy these oohs like several times throughout, so I only have to do them once, and then they'll come in again. And usually I like to like re-sing things as many a times as possible so that people, when they hear a new set of oohs, it's like a new set of them. It's not the same one they've already heard. But I don't do that with oohs and ahs because they're just nobody's. I maybe unconsciously people are going to think, oh, that's the copy of those oohs I heard earlier. But most people aren't. Even my most avid fans aren't going to notice that I didn't re-sing them, the oohs, for the new section. And sometimes I have to re-sing them because the end music isn't always the same. It's so it all depends. 70 is for our pitch drift, and 90 for our tuning. Okay, here we go. In the midnight blue, I think of you, loving me as I surely love you, and we both share a love for all time. All right, well, I didn't do this last one. Okay, this has got to go here. And if you'll notice, there's a bunch of things like that tells you which note it is, and there's little gray squares that show up. I turned all those things on. They're like an extra little thing you can turn on. I don't usually have them on, but I've turned them on just for clarity's sake. I'm going to bring these so that they go a little bit longer than... And okay, so they come kind of closer to that edge there. Now we take this and chop these. These I probably could have chopped all at once, but now we're going to grab this, and that. And we're going to tune these as well. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the likes. Somebody liked my video. Here we go. There's 70, and then there is 90, except. All right, and this is the last one. For all time. All right, so now I'm seeing that this, if you'll notice, this one's kind of, it needs a little more than 70. The low ones, you can see the higher I sing, the more precise and focused my voice is on the pitch. And then as I go down, this one's like a little bit less focused. And this one right here, it drifts all over the place. The same with this one. And so I might go a little bit higher than 70 to just kind of to bring that into just a little bit to kind of shore it up. And now we got the ahs to do some ahs. Here are the ahs. Now we're going to get rid of the breaths at the beginning. I don't want to have like my lead vocal. I'm going to go and I'm going to sing the line, and then I'm going to have like 4 other voices going at the same time, and it just it sounds like a whole choir taking a breath at the same time. I don't want that event in my song, so I try to get rid of those. I try not to use those. The cherries that... All right. Now we're going to line these up so they change on the beat. This one comes here. This can come over a little bit. This one, we're going to line them up. And we're going to get rid of those breaths. These are going to change at the beat. get rid of these breaths. We're gonna, sometimes the computer doesn't read the pitch thing right. And it didn't in that case. We want them changing on the beat there. And this one here, this one here. And then we do the same thing here. Those are all pretty much at the same the right place. Now this one doesn't have a line here. Okay, so now we can get rid of these breaths. Now we want these all starting at the same time again. They have to start at the same time, and they should all kind of go up to their note about the same time too. Now, and we're going to get rid of the, okay, we want them switching here at around the same time again. All right, so now we're going to, those are already chopped there. We're going to chop these at the end. Well, my phone is making some noises. We're going to let these little places, leave them untouched, so my bends in there kind of can be natural. Again here, this one here, but we're going to bring that up. And I think I'm going to try and tame that down a little bit. We have to cut this here. Okay. And here. And we come in here. We've got to do the same thing here. Just leave these little areas. When I do this, I'm kind of isolating that area so it can kind of be natural. So my bend can be kind of natural, but I don't want the bend to go up there. All right. And the same here, here, here. And we have these parts. Go on there and just announce, I guess, that I'm going live. All right, I'm going to grab all these pieces that are kind of in the center. Okay, and this piece, I guess I can do those. I didn't clip that one, it's too late now, but all right, so we're going to go up here and go to 70 and 90. You see them all kind of lining up a little bit. They're not perfect. I didn't go to 100%. I used to go to 100%, but I think especially with harmonies, the cherries that bloom on a summer's day, how sweet you are in every way. They create, if they're perfectly in tune, and you take that human part away of my vocal, the way I kind of interpreted it, if you take that away, that human part, it's not as rich sounding. It's sort of like an organ, or like a tone, pure tones, rather than something that has a lot of timbre and vibrations within it, and overtones and things like that. So the cherries that bloom on a summer's day. Now I have them kind of loud so I can hear them. So we're gonna now, so we go back to here, and after that we go back to the oohs again. So now we can start copying this. Let's save this. Yes, let's save it. Oh gosh. All right, now now these don't go here, actually. These go, so we take them now over here. They start in here again, up. See, we just move them over here. Did I get it right? Our love is How did I do that? I got them right lined up. I just dragged them right over and plopped them right over somewhere in that vicinity, and I do that. I surprise myself quite a bit the way I do that. I don't think I got this one right, though. No, I didn't get that one right. An ocean of desire, forever to admire the beauty of love. For all. Oh, we didn't get the low one here. Is that the aahs? I guess that's the aahs. An ocean of desire, forever to admire. All right, so now I have to send these out to buses. Okay, the harmonies go out to the harmony bus. I already created these earlier because I knew I was going to want them. These are the ah buses. They're down below. So I can control them all in with one slider. And this is the ooh bus. Ooh. And ooh. Now let's double check and make sure I did them right. Those are the three oohs. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ah, ah, ah. And harmony, harmony. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is click on these, bring the volumes back up on them because I can turn them down. So they're right at 0. All of them are at 0. And ooh, ooh, ooh. And then I can come down here and turn them down all at once. Now I can control them all three together. Now, to tell you the truth, I don't usually put reverb on oohs and ahs and harmonies. I like them to be very present. So it's just the way I do things. I don't like them to be muddy. So let's go back to the beginning of the song and let's see how loud these oohs are. In the midnight blue, I think of you, loving me as I surely love you, and we both share a love for all time. Okay, sorry about that. We got the ahs now. The cherries that bloom on a summer's day, how sweet you are in every way, a sentimental love for all time, a love for all time, with your hand in mine, a bouquet to relay a love for all time. Our love is a pleasure, immeasurable treasure. In your arms I found the love for all time. An ocean of desire, forever to admire the beauty of the love for all time. Okay, so you get the idea. I still have to mix all this properly. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm just doing a quick mix. But it's everything's all off because I turned the guitar, the music way down. I have to turn it back up. I have to balance everything and bring it all back up to the ceiling kind of stuff. So I turned everything way down so I could put my vocal in and hear myself surgically over everything else. So I have to bring everything back up and then mix it, okay? And so that's why I cranked these back up to the top and then went down here and turned them down. But then I have to go into here and turn everything back up. So it's kind of like a thing like that. So now what I'm gonna do is take a drink of some water. And move that out of the way. And then I'm gonna go and get my keyboard controller. All right, and the keyboard controller is what I use to input the violin. So I'll be right back. Okay. This little thing. It's just a cool little keyboard controller. And so we're going to do that. And we're going to put those on. And then I have to plug it in. That always helps when you plug it in, because then it has power. And power makes it good. Now something's going to pop up here and say, do you want to connect this to this? It's like, well, yeah, we do, actually. And then we're going to go here to insert soft synth, and I'm going to insert I'm going to use a Dimension Pro violin. I may actually use a cello instead of a violin. A cello just has a warmer sound. So we're going to go to strings. Now this Dimension Pro is not for sale. You can't buy it anywhere in the world. It's used to be something you could buy with Cakewalk, and then when Gibson sold Cakewalk to BandLab, this got discontinued. And so luckily I own it because I bought it back when Gibson sold it. And when you buy something, it's yours. This isn't a subscription kind of thing. It's something that you buy and you get to keep. So I'm going to do this cello's expressivo fortissimo. The F stands for fortissimo, I believe. So these have the way of kind of coming out and saying, hi, I'm here, so they're expressive, and then they're also loud, how they come out, and then they kind of mellow, and then they come in again, and then they get kind of expressive, and then so it's for a solo kind of thing. It's not just like cello strings in the background that are quiet, okay? So we'll listen to this and see how these cellos expressivos sound in the song. They're going to be we're going to go in this chorus part here. Now I think this is going to be really loud, so I got to turn it down so we don't blow your ears out. Our love is a pleasure, immeasurable treasure. All right. Okay, I think I got it. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna turn this on to record. Our So that was that. So now let's go in here. Now this note was wrong because that's supposed to be there, I think. Okay, we're going to bring that over. Now I'm going to try to mix it in a little bit so we don't get blasted away again. We're gonna just go down to there. Okay, we're gonna quantize these so that they line up to our whole notes. Let's see, did that worked? Okay. Okay, I think I liked them better when they were a little higher here. More expressive-o than, okay. Our love is a pleasure. Okay, so we're going to take this and put it at the end as well. And that's going to go here. I think it's not going to go there. I've found the love for all time. Oh, that has, okay, that doesn't work. Okay. A kiss to seal our love for all time. It's got to go here. Love for all time. We have found the love for all time. All right, now we're going to go here and we're going to find, we're going to insert, we're going to insert an organ. We're going to insert our UVI workstation, another instrument, and this is going to be our retro organ suite. We're going to go with the hammer B, and I think I'll go with the hard wheel, and there's a jazz, where is it? What's this crystal rock sound like? Probably like a Doors organ. Got to turn this down so I don't blast ya. And me. That's nice. Okay, let's make sure that nothing else is, okay, let's turn back our record on again. We have found the love for all time. Okay, and we're going to go, now we're going to use this organ in another place too, here. We're going to go here. In the midnight blue, I think of you, loving me as I surely love you, and we both share a love for all time. Cherries that bloom on a summer's day, how sweet you are in every way, that sentimental love for all time. Okay, now I gotta figure the chords out, but and it'll be very quiet. It's gonna be very quiet. Cherries that bloom. Okay. The cherries that bloom on a summer's day, how sweet you are in every way, that sentimental love. Okay, I haven't got the chords down yet. These are really complex chords here, and I'm not playing them right, but the cherries that bloom on a summer's day. How sweet you are in every way. A sentimental love for all time. A love for all time. Okay. Now let's see what we got here. Process, quantize to the nearest half note. A sentimental love. Love for all cherries that bloom on a summer's day. How sweet you are in every way. A sentimental love for all time. Okay, so we're gonna now there's something here. What did I just think of? Okay, there's something we could possibly take this. The cherries that bloom on a summer's day. How sweet you are in every way. A sentimental love for all time. See, what I just did there was I used this wheel right here, okay? And I use this wheel right here, and when I play it, the cherries that bloom on a summer's day. And that's with none of it. In every way. That's with it all the way up. A sentimental love for all time. And a love for all time. So what you do is you record that that envelope path into it, and then you can go in and edit it and make it perfect. I'll show you how I do that. The cherries that bloom on a summer's day. I think I'm going to go with the high notes. Or what I could do is go like this and double it. The cherries that bloom on a summer's day. How sweet you are in every way. I think I'm going to double it like that because it just sounds so big. All right. And so then we're going to take this and right click. Okay, what we'll do is we're going to record now some of that. In order to record that into there, Control Z, I have to come up in here and turn this to sound on sound, and then I can record that wheel thing into this. Okay, so the cherries that bloom on a summer's day. How sweet you are in every way. A sentimental love for all time. A love. Okay, see how that works? Okay. Oops, I hit another note there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce these together, bounce to clips, so that that's like baked in. They're baked in together, and then I can copy and paste this in another place. I still could just kind of drag them both together, but what that does now is allows me to take this up here. I have another place.
Found the love for all time. An ocean of desire forever to admire the beauty of the love for all time. A love for all time. With your hand in mine, a kiss to seal our love. Love for all time.
Okay, so now what I have to do with this organ, because I made it so fat, is you still have to cut the bass out of it, because you don't want the organ bass down with your bass, okay? You just don't, because it makes the song sound muddy. You only want the bass down there in the bass all by itself, okay? You don't want the organ down there, the organ bass. And if you can listen to it. Now it's got to cut some of the bass out. See that bass down there? All that's got to go, all right, up to about here. So you take this cut, and it's called a high pass filter. It lets the high pass through, and it filters the bass out, okay? So now we don't have that in that song anymore. So now it's not muddy down below with that kind of that orb sounding interrupting the bass. So the bass can be nice and boom, and so the bass is so deep and warm, and it's much nicer than that organ down there. So all the organ does is make mud down there, okay? And you don't want mud in your song, okay? You want a nice warm bass down underneath, okay? So that as soon as I put this organ in, my thoughts just kind of said, oh, I got to get rid of the bass down there in that organ.
An ocean of desire forever to admire the beauty of the love for all time.
Isn't that nice how that works? You can hear that now. You can hear that mud gone, and hear the bass just like go boom and be so soft and down underneath it, your song. It's just amazing how you have to cut the bass out of every track. I have to cut a little bit out of my voice. I have to cut so that nothing goes down in that bass area except the next instrument we're going to put in, which is the bass and the snare, okay? We're going to put a bass drum, and the bass drum doesn't go as deep as the bass. So you have to cut some of the bass drum out too, because you want the bass at the very bottom of your song. You want that bass to go all the way down to right where your ears starts to begin to hear tones. You want the bass to start exactly there and move up. And you don't want the bass like dominating everything up in the upper parts either. So the bass is supposed to go down in that bottom part, but it can have little areas where it peeks out of the song, okay? Where little parts of the bass peek out of the mix in the higher areas, but you don't want it like dominating. And then the whole spectrum. And then you have the bass drum, which we're going to do now. And I think I'll use my phone here, and I'm going to connect my phone wirelessly to Cakewalk. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap out some drum beats into the song. So we're going to get to see me do that now. This is organ. And what I'm going to do is freeze this track for now. So let's...
An ocean of desire, forever to admire.
All right, so we're going to freeze this track so that the MIDI doesn't... So that oops, that's a little too much. A little too much. We just want a kind of healthy looking wave, but we don't want it like gigantic in proportion, so it fills that. That's okay. And now this is our cello here. We'll also do these MIDI. It's better to have the MIDI instruments frozen so that so that I'm only working with one MIDI track. And let's listen to this. All right, so we're going to freeze this now. This is going to be our cello track. And that's a little too big too. How about there? This is the gain. It tells how big this is going to be here. And it's odd how this particular cello is. It's like one side is always louder than the other, and I think it's because the cellos are on a certain side of the orchestra. They're not right in the middle, you know. They're off to the side. And so on one side you have like kind of an echoey. I don't know if it's this side or which side, but you kind of have the echo of them hitting the back wall. And then this side is where they're really coming from. That's the way it is. So it's the way it sounds natural.
Our love is a pleasure, immeasurable treasure.
Okay. And you notice when the voice comes in, the music's got to hush. Things have got to go away, including these pianos and all. So we have this sound here. This is... I don't know why that sounds so bad, rough right now. Something's wrong with that. I'm not sure what it is. But I'm going to probably find another. Something's just not sounding right about that. Let's see. Let's get our Falcon out and see something may have been corrupted it when I was mixing. Let's see what it sounds like without that. So something doesn't sound right. All right, we're gonna try to find another pad. It just sounds a little bit kind of of digitized or something. Okay, we're going to look for the Falcon pad. We're typing the word pad. I have got to get my pads back because I stopped paying on my... Let's try this. Oh, I know what's going on here. I think we have my Pro L here. Yeah, we got to turn this off. All right. Now let's go back into here. That has a long release. Okay, we're going to find a better pad here. Pad. Wow, it's still going. All right, we're going to go to, let's see. That has a little bit of disc detune.
Our love is a plan.
Now we have to do the same thing. Okay, see, I've already done that. I've cut the bass out of here. The Falcon, but let's compress it. I think that's just, I'm not feeling it right now, that one. It's close, but this is almost closer. No, that's it. That is very pretty, but the reason why I don't want it is because the piano is already emphasizing those things. I just want something smooth that kind of gives it like this breath, kind of. So there's my phone making noises. Let's pull this up here. I want to be able to see my pad. Okay, it's right here. I want to be able to hear it. Come on. Are you going to play?
love is a pleasure all time.
That's really pretty, but I'm thinking still something. Where's my ominous pad? Ominous. Ominous. Where is it? Was this it? No, that's not it. Okay, here it is. Ominous pad. Ominous pad.
Our love is
No, that sounds a little too distractive too. Okay, that's not going to work. Pad. Let's see. Poly. Let's try poly. Poly. We're going to go here. Analog poly. Oh, that's pretty. There it is. All right, I think I can deal with that. Now everything's got to be mixed, okay? So it's just, that's okay. So we're going to go with the poly pad. That's not going to work because I have to, something's really wrong here because it's taking a long time just to mix down this little segment. Yeah. Well, no, something isn't wrong, but I have to undo that. Now, why do I have to undo this? There was some reason why. That's really pretty. Okay, I might change it again, who knows, but we just want something underneath everything that makes it just smooth. There's our piano.
Our love is a our love is
Okay. Now we're going to do some drums. We're going to insert. I have to get all the elements in the song, and then I have to mix them and get them right. And that's a big mixing. Once you get, this is called tracking, putting the different instruments in like this and just getting them kind of in where they're supposed to go. And that's called tracking. And then you switch. Eventually, sometimes in the middle of mixing, you say, oh, I'm hearing an oboe right there. And then you go back to tracking and you put the oboe in. And then you start to try to mix that oboe in as well. But it's not like cut and dry, like you're done tracking, now you mix. And that's the way things kind of used to get done. Like the band would put all their tracks in and then they'd send it to the mixer man and the mixer man would do it and he'd have just the tracks and that's it. And usually a mixer man wouldn't add more tracks kind of thing, usually. So it's like, oh, I thought some brass would sound good right there. They usually don't do that. But some mixer men do. And okay, so we're going to go insert. We're going to use some dimension drums today. Today it's everything dimension. So pretty much I'm kind of going back to my dimension roots here. And so we're going to find a room kit. Just grab one of these room kits. And then we're going to go here and select this to. Now everything is in this song has been frozen. So there's no MIDI exposed, kind of. It's all been converted to WAV files. See, this MIDI has been converted into WAV files. That's what freezing it is you take the MIDI notes, and once you get them the right notes and you get them in time and you get them the way you want them to sound, then you freeze them into a WAV file. And so what happens is that if somebody comes into my song years after maybe I'm gone, dead and gone, they don't have to say, what instrument did he use? What instrument? They don't need it. They have the WAV file. It's like an MP3 file or something. It's a stereo WAV file of the sound that I made. Now, they could undo it and go back to the MIDI, go back to the instrument and kind of tailor it a little bit more and then make a WAV file again of it. That's up to them. But it gives them the WAV file of my finished instrument work. So this is the finished organ.
for all time. A love for all time.
Here's where the drum's going to come in. Boom.
A love for all time.
Boom.
Boom. With your hand in mine.
Okay, that's where the drum's going to come in. So I'm going to open up this program on my on my phone that allows me to put in, and it's called TouchDAW. And then we're going to go to open this up. Pads. Ooh, that's loud. Sorry about that. Okay, it works. Okay. That's kind of what we want. And that will put the little MIDI events, note on, note off, note on, note off kind of events in here. And it's playing the sounds in the instrument. Okay. Turn this down just a little more.
A love for all time, with your hand in mine, a bouquet to relay a love for all time.
All right, let's record.
A love for all time, with your hand in mine, a bouquet to relay a love for all time. Our love is a pleasure, immeasurable
Okay, now we're going to go here.
of a love for all time. A love for all time, with your hand in mine, a kiss to seal our love for all time. Love for all time, we have found the love for all time.
Okay, so now what I can do is come in here because I played it kind of better than it sounded, but what happens is when you have like a bunch of MIDI and a bunch of instruments in your song, we get something called latency, where it kind of like fights you and it doesn't quite and you have a latency. It's like a lag. It's like it comes in a little later than you hit the button. Now, the earlier you put these drums in the song, the less latency, because you don't have all this other stuff trying to fight for that same exact moment in time. So that is what we're talking about. So we're going to try to now, we're going to look at this and say, okay, these are on half notes. So what I'm going to do is this is a whole beat. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 beats per measure. And so they're coming on the beat and the half note, the beat and the half note, beat and the half note. So what I'll do is I will quantize them to the half note. And there you go. And now they're right in time.
A love for all time, with your hand in mine, a bouquet to relay a love for all time. A love.
So I think I'm going to want like to have
love for all time.
Okay, so there's that, and then now how do I forgot how to change these. Okay. Now I've forgotten how to change the
Love for all time.
we want that on the beat.
A love for all time. With your hand in mine, a bouquet to relay a love for all time.
Okay, so we put a cymbal in there. We gotta put it in time here.
Our love is a pleasure.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna want that here.
Our love.
See, this is why it's important, because then you know where you want these things.
Our love.
We want this here, this here.
Our love is.
Okay, these go.
Our love is.
Why aren't you playing? Oh, I got it on there.
Our love.
Now these little lines here, they're how hard you hit. They're not necessarily volume. Sometimes it comes out that way, kind of as volume, but really what they are is like, if I hit the cymbal lightly, it's going to go ting, okay? If I hit the cymbal hard, it's going to go okay? And that's the thing, is it changes how hard you hit the instrument, okay? And so what they did was they recorded the instrument, and they recorded different hits. And so if you put it down here, then you're hitting ting on the cymbal, okay? If you put it about in the middle, there's not a different sound for every, little degree, but basically somewhere along the line, it's going to switch from the middle kind of heaviness hit to the crash kind of hit, okay? And so if I put it way up here, you'll hear a crash, hard crash. And you're going to hear the same, well, that you heard it for that drum beat here. When we select this here, see, that's the difference. See, it's like hits real hard. But if I put it down about here, and if I put it down here, it's just barely a tiny bit. So it's not volume, it's really timbre. So what I will do is I will isolate these notes into their own tracks. I'll eventually take them, like if I select this, it will select just this bass drum note, and I'll put it in its own track so that I can EQ it and change the volume, and so that that drum beat go boom just exactly the way I want. Because right now they're all in one track, so if I turn it up, they all get turned up. If I turn it down, they all get turned down. So they need to be eventually taken out of this track, and I'll probably keep these toms together, like the boom, boom, boom. Those will probably stay together in one track because they kind of all have a nice relative volume together. They fit together. So these toms, doom, doom, doom. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to put two of them there. Toon, toon.
Our love. Our love is.
Okay, so, and these bass drum notes are like really long. And if I grab this like this, they don't really need to be that long. This one maybe does, but okay, we'll go out of here. We'll grab that one, and well, if it's going to let me, there we go. They only need to be short.
Our love is a pleasure.
Okay, so now what I can do is take this little part here, copy that, and go to the other places in the song. Well, okay, here. Oh, this is the first part, and there's the second part. So we go here.
A love for all time. With your hand in mine, a kiss to seal our love for all time.
Where did that start? Here? It just like lost it. It's like it forgot that I did it. That's what Cakewalk does sometimes. It just forgets that you copied something. Control C, Cakewalk. That means copy. That means put it in the clipboard. Okay, and leave it there until I'm ready to paste it. Okay, here we go. No, I think what's wrong is I pasted it somewhere in a very weird place. That's what it's done. Let's see. I think I pasted it in the... Alright, it didn't, at least it didn't paste it on one of those tracks. Okay. Cakewalk should know that you're in a full screen on a piano roll and say, oh, he must want to paste it here. Okay. Okay, and so we're going to take this snare out. Okay, what I'm going to do is just copy this whole measure, and I'm going to knead it again up here. Okay, so we'll go in.
Love for all time. We have found the love for all time.
Okay, here. Okay, well, we don't need that lingering out so far. Okay, so that's now. Do I need another drum roll here? We have one at the end, but I think I need one in the middle here.
Love.
Now, I don't think I'm going to do that drum roll there at the beginning before I come in like that. I was just kind of demonstrating that I could put it there, but we're going to delete that.
Love for all time.
Okay, this one got chopped off. Actually, that's all I need is that little bit, really, because the bass drum is just kind of thing. So,
Love for all time. With your hand in mine.
I don't think I edited the harmonies yet.
To relay a love.
No, they're not in time.
For all time.
Okay, that goes here. The.
Our love is a place.
All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'll break these apart for you now. So what we're going to do is insert soft synth, and we'll insert some Dimension Pro. We got to select. I don't know which which Room Kit 20, I guess. So we'll do that Room Kit 20, and we're going to go insert soft synth. Dimension Pro, again, Room Kit 20, drums, Room Kit 20. Might as well use the same one, and I might try some different drums. I might even try a different other than Dimension Pro, but I kind of like the way these sound in here. They're kind of dry but nice. They have a nice sound, but they're not mixed yet into the song. And so, because they're all thrown into one track. All right, so this is our Dimension Pro. This is, we're going to call this BD for bass drum. We're going to call this one SD for snare drum. Okay, we're going to call this one toms. And we need one more, insert, soft synth, Dimension Pro. And we're going to call this one, we'll go here to real drums, to the drums again, room kits, 20. And the room kits mean that they've got mics in the room. It's like actually so it sounds like a real drummer in a real room. It's not just mics on each drum. It's also some room mics that gives you this feeling like they're in a room. And so it's a little more of a finished drum sound than without it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this drum track, and I'm just going to bounce it to clips so that they're all kind of baked in together, just to make things a little bit more simpler. Now this is, I think, my bass drum one. So we're going to go here. We'll just simplify this a little bit so we can see what we're doing. That's our bass drum. So we're going to leave the bass drum here. So this is our snare. So I put my snare drum, my time position bar here, and I'm going to go hold control and hit X. Well, X. There we go. And now we're still at that position here. Now I can select this MIDI track here for the snare drum and Control V. Now it just took those snare drums out of that track and put them into this track. So now I can go now to toms. The toms are going to be a little harder. We're going to go back into our MIDI track, piano roll. Okay, we're in our... Okay, that's here, I think. So what happens when we come here and go back to this one? View, piano roll. Okay, that's correct. Now we'll do our cymbal next. We'll get the cymbal out of here. Okay, that's our cymbal. Where is it? When you select it, it selects everything in the track. We control X. Okay, and then we go down here to our, this is our cymbals. Cymbals. We're going to select this right here, and boom, now those, well, that's our cymbal. Sorry about that. I am very sorry about that. I didn't mean to make that so loud. And now we're going to go here to back to our, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my position cursor there, and we're going to go like this, and to grab those toms I'm just going to draw a square around them all. Control X, and we're going to go down here to our toms. Control V. Now I'm not going to blast you away this time. I'm going to turn the toms down some. Well, they're still kind of loud, but they weren't too bad. See, now I have a separate volume for each one, for the bass, the drums, the snare. And so then I can EQ them separately. I could put a little bit of maybe reverb on the snare drum. See, like we can come into this snare drum here. And I don't know why the snare drum isn't blasting us away, but because it didn't play at that particular time. So I can put a little bit of reverb on the snare.
Our love is a pleasure.
And also, you see this bass drum. Now this gets, we're going kind of full circle here, because when we get to this bass drum, I can show you how the bass drum is now sitting on our bass guitar. It's kind of taking up some of the bass guitar. And if we didn't isolate the bass drum, we wouldn't be able to EQ it quite as precision, with such precision. Okay, so we're going to listen to this. Here's our bass drum here. And you see this bass drum is taking up, I'll show you here just a moment here. Let's bring this a little bit louder. Okay. You see now this area where it's going down, that's the bass's home, okay? We don't want the snare drum, the bass drum in that area, so we put the high pass filter in. Okay, it's going to start playing. Okay, well, I guess we missed the window here to do this. Okay, here we go. So we bring this in and we cut some of the bass out of the lower end. So and we cut just a little notch out of here. And now the bass has enough room to still see, as you can see, this little gray part where we've cut that out of there. That takes a little bit more of the mud out of the song, okay? So that you, when you hear the bass, you're only hearing that bass way down in there, because that's what's supposed to be down there in that area, is just the bass. And the snare drum is a little bit higher than the bass, okay? So that is now when we play this, we're not going to have that mud down there.
A bouquet to relay a love for all time.
And the snare may even have some bass in it. We'll take a look at that, see. Yeah, see, look, the snare has more bass in it than the bass had. The snare has got a lot of bass in it, so.
A bouquet to relay.
Well, maybe not, but not more, but.
For all time.
Now, the cymbals will not have any bass in it. It won't go down that far.
A bouquet to relay a love for all time.
But you still want to cut that out anyway, because it's just, there might be tiny little bits of residual bass, and they could do some very bad things to little car speakers in a car. They can't handle that kind of big, like pulse, peak or peck of bass. So
a bouquet.
And the toms are definitely going to have some bass and hit down in that bass range too. We want to cut that out too.
A bouquet to relay a love for all time.
See, they went all the way down into the bass drum range, and you don't want them down that far either. And see, these, if you don't cut the bass out of these instruments, your song will not mix right. It will not mix right. Whenever these drums come in, they're going to be just like puzzle pieces that are just way too big to fit in, okay? So, and it's not going to create the right picture. So that's the way it is. They just will not fit in your song.
A bouquet to relay a love for all time.
Now that the snare is too loud and all. See, I'm not working right now on the volume of things. I'm working more at the on the on the frequencies, the deep frequencies of sound. So I think this is going to pretty much do this for this. Okay, we'll turn the cymbals down a little bit.
Bouquet to relay a love for all time.
See, now I can turn those toms up just a tiny bit, a little bit more. Before I couldn't turn them up because they just had too much bass mixed in with them. And now when I can bring them up a little bit. And see, I've also need to compress these toms because they are different drums, and some of them are kind of like louder and little smaller and like than the bass one. So if I compress them, they'll all be kind of like in the same volume range, because it will, like if I compress the toms here, we're going to just add a little bit of compression to them. We'll go like this, like that. We'll turn them down a little bit. And now I can bring them in. See, so, and I could add maybe just a tiny bit of a little bit more air into them. And you would think, well, you don't want to add any of that air into the cymbals. Yeah, if you do, you can kind of, if you add a little more air to the cymbals, then you can turn them down relatively, and you'll get that just high little tinkle kind of sound into your song. So I can now bring them down a little.
For all time, for all time, our love is a pleasure, immeasurable treasure.
So, all right, the next phase of this journey, so to speak, is mixing. So I'm going to take a break from this song now, and I'm hoping to have this done. It's the 25th, maybe done by tomorrow enough so I can try to find a video to go with this, and put it on my Flock of Angels channel. It's a really pretty song, so you're going to get to hear this. And so I may come back on and do a video of me mixing and mastering this particular song. That's what's left. Now, as you can see, like right here, the volume, this is the volume of the song. It's supposed to fill this whole area, so I have to turn everything up kind of now that I'm done tracking and bringing stuff in, because I didn't want everything as loud as it could be, because I wanted to be able to turn certain things up so I could hear and see if they fit into the music properly. So now that that's done, I can bring everything up kind of to its relative volume that it will be. And the mastering tools will kind of fix the rest so that and make sure it doesn't go out above and beyond this envelope here of how loud a song is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be even one tiny teensy bit too loud. It has it's called a brick wall, and you don't make your song any louder than that brick wall, or else it will, when you go to listen to it on your phone, it will distort your phone. And by the way, this is what I was typing in on. I was using this to play on my phone. This is wirelessly sending the note. It's sending, there's the snare drum. So it's sending that signal through the air into my computer in the other room. It's actually sending it to the my Wi-Fi router. It's sending it to the Wi-Fi router, and my computers connect to the Wi-Fi router. My phone is connected to the Wi-Fi router, and it sends it into my computer. And my computer's there listening and saying, I'm waiting for him to send some of these things. Now, if I needed to, I can, now that these MIDI notes are on my computer, I can take those MIDI notes and assign them to any sound in the world that I own. They don't have to be that particular snare drum. They can be any snare drum. I can assign those events to any sound. I'm going to pick some kind of snare and some kind of bass, some kind of cymbal sound, and some kind of toms for those areas, because that's what you kind of expect to hear in those areas. It may not be the ones that I have here. I need to get the whole song kind of mixed and in everything at the volume it's going to be. And then I might switch them out for some other sounds and see how they sound in it. So I'm kind of solid on using them, the sounds that I have right now for this song. But I might go searching, because I have many. I probably have at least 1,000 different kinds of snare drums. Just snare drums alone. At least 1,000 different kinds of snare drums. So I have been collecting sounds for all of my life. And so it's there are many options that I can use to for this. So I was just thinking, I have a TG500, a Yamaha TG500. There's some nice general MIDI banks on that. I have the EMU, all of the EMU sounds, and the Emulator X. I have the Contact sounds. I have some drum sounds from East West Sound. I have drum sounds that are in my my synthesizers, the Falcon synthesizer and the Avenger synthesizer. I have Nexus drum sounds, and I could just keep going on and on about the different, and each one of these have hundreds and hundreds of snare drum sounds, so different. And then I have Splice.com, and there are just a ton. That might be the very best place to get these drum sounds for this song, would be Splice, because Splice will give you the drum sound like all finished and ready. It's just boom, there it is, right in your song. So Splice is probably the best resource for finding just the right drum sound. So we shall try that. So, all right, well, thank you for watching. That's going to do it for me. I'm going to save this file, and then I'm going to go File, Save As, and we're going to save it as A Love for All. That's supposed to be 4, small 4, F. A Love for All Time, and this is going to be 6. And save it as 6. Okay, so we have a new version. In case I need to go back, I can go back. If something gets corrupted in this file, I can go back and at least get back to the place where the tracking was done. And I don't think I'm going to put any more instruments in the song. Now, I do have to edit the harmonies. I edited the oohs and I edited the ahs, but these harmonies are still for all time. With your hand in mine, a bouquet to relay a love for all time. For all time. For all time. With your hand in mine, a bouquet to relay a love for all time. Now, I'm going to also just do another plug for the Zoom. They are not a sponsor, not even close, but I purchased a Zoom audio interface about a month ago for recording in 32-bit, and that's what I've been recording. I have a $1,600 RME Fireface interface, Fireface UCX2 audio interface, and this Zoom audio interface is it's just the quality of the sound in this device is so much better. It's to my ears than any audio interface I have ever owned, and it cost, I believe, $200, which is it's a lot of money. But the RME Fireface that I bought was $1,600. I use that in Windows to like handle all my different things. It handles everything. But in Cakewalk, I record at 32-bit now. And if you look up here, it's 32-bit. All of these vocals, that's why they sound so just really so smooth and soft and gentle. They have like this really very nice high quality
For all time. With your hand in mine, a bouquet to relay a love for all time.
So yeah, this Zoom audio interface, if you are just starting out, if you're watching this video and you're saying, what kind of audio interface do I buy? Do I buy, if you have an audio interface and you say, oh, I only paid, $50 for one of these days I'm going to get this, or I'm going to get the $1,600 RME, I'm not saying don't get that, because I couldn't do what I do. I couldn't be broadcasting right now. I'm using that to broadcast, but I'm not using that to record in Cakewalk. I'm using a cheap $200 the first 32-bit audio interface for computers ever made, and it just came out a month or a couple months ago. All right, it blows every audio interface, in my opinion, out of the water completely. And they'll say, well, the files are so big. They're not. This entire song right here probably doesn't even take up a gig. And that's with all these oohs and ahs and all the different takes and all of and the lead vocals, all of this. The whole song probably doesn't even take up a gig. So there's space is not really this huge issue when it comes to recording at 32 bits. So look at the Zoom audio interface. It's like really nice. It's called the UAC-232. Zoom, ZOOM, UAC-232, and this is it's the last audio interface that you will ever need for recording your music. Okay, and I have gone through, because I don't like the way audio interfaces, my voice sounds on audio interfaces. I have never liked them. I've owned Steinberg ones. I've owned Emu ones that cost me like $400, $500. I have owned 2 Behringer ones, and those were like the 16, 8 in, 8 out, and all of these other ins and outs and optical ins and all these other outs, all that stuff. I've owned this RME. I don't like the way my voice sounds on the RME Fireface device. And I can tell you that you might say, well, there's also there are the Scarlett ones. It's like, I can tell you that if I bought a Scarlett interface, it would be exactly the same, because if I didn't get, if I don't like the way my voice sounds on an RME Fireface, that is $1,600. I'm not going to like the way I sound on a Scarlett that's like $300. Okay, it's there. I have never liked the way it recorded my voice. I like the way my voice sounds, not being all kind of self whatever. I'm just saying, I don't like the way it records my voice. And I have never liked it. And that's why I've gone and bought all kinds of different ones. I've owned Roland, the 2X2, 2 in, 2 out. That was probably one of the nicest ones, but RME is the best one that I've ever owned. And I've still not liked the way my voice sounded in it. And I'm just going to be very blunt about it. And it's not been until I got this Zoom that I started to say, wow, I finally liked the way this recorded my voice. And that's the way my ears are. They don't like the other. They don't like 24-bit recordings of my voice. My ears do not like it. And so I'm telling you this to save you a long journey of buying this audio interface and that audio interface and saying, okay, and then buying this one and saying, and then say, oh, I can go buy this one. It's only $500. And there's the one I think called One or something. They've got one big knob in the middle. I'm telling you right now, don't just buy a $200 Zoom, and eventually Zoom will come out with like 2 in and 2 out, and they'll come out and that is going to be the device when you have 4 in and 4 out, and they're fully dedicated, modular. You can route out to N and route in to any. And when that day comes, that will be the audio interface forever. Okay, and when they, well, I would say maybe 6 or 8 in outs for a Zoom 32-bit. That will make the RME, as long as it's completely modular like the RME, where you can just route everything at anything in and out to any. That's the way the RME is. That's the only one that I've ever owned that was like that. So when the Zoom or RME puts out a 32-bit, then my RME will be, then that's what I want, would be a 32-bit RME Fireface, whatever they call it at the time. That will be the ultimate recording device. But for now, I will never go back to 24-bit recording, ever. So I am no longer recording my music with the RME Fireface device, but I am using it right now to pipe out, to bring all the different things together in Windows. Windows is using it, and so I have all these inputs from here and there. My Cakewalk inputs, the Zoom inputs, like music when I play that from my. It's all going through the RME. But Cakewalk is completely running only. It's just recording with the Zoom and using the output and sending the outputs. The physical outputs of the Zoom are going directly into the RME inputs. So that's how this is being run. So check out the Zoom audio interface. If you have whatever audio interface you're using, stop and get a Zoom and start recording your music at 32-bit. And you will thank me. You will thank me, because you will never have to set your gain again. It doesn't matter how loud you sing in. You will never have to worry about peaking, about distorting within the box, because 32-bit you can't distort. Period. You would have to make a noise louder than a sonic boom, and I don't think you could even distort it. It would record a sonic boom beautifully. So that's the thing about 32-bit. You can't distort it. And so that's, I don't know if that is what's making the quality better, but that is, it's making my voice sound stable. It's making all of my consonants and sounds like solid. And that's what my ears have hated so much about the other audio interfaces, that everything sounded like it was like frying on a frying pan. It just sounds warbly. They don't sound like they're stable. And that's what bothers me about those interfaces. My ears I've always felt that about them. And it wasn't until I started recording with the Zoom that it was like, there it is. That's what I've been looking for. And now I haven't recorded at anything higher than 48, but I would assume, I'm not positive, that it would handle the 96 even better, but that's not always the case, because there's a thing called saturation that can happen when you go higher than 48. So I think 48 at 32 is the sweet spot for recording. So I just thought I would put that out there. It's an extra tip. Look at it. I got mine at Sweetwater. They gave me 52 months to pay off $200. I think I'm paying like $5 a month. No interest at all. Zero interest. I won't pay them a dime in interest. They just gave me like 52 months to pay off $200. I don't know. It's like two years or something, or 48 months or 24 months. 2 years, 24 months at $5 or something a month. And so no interest, and I'm using it now. I don't have to wait 2 years for them to give it to me. So it's not layaway. They send it to you, and you just got to promise to pay them. So, and believe me, I will, because I always pay my bills. So I try. So take a look at Sweetwater. You can buy it wherever you want, but take a look at the Zoom UAC and switch out your audio interface, okay? It's time, okay? And you will thank me for turning you on to this, okay? So just the moment you start singing and you realize you don't have to change. You know, there's not even an input volume for the Zoom. There's not even and that drove me crazy, because I thought, well, you know, I just want to turn it down a little bit, you know. You just let it record at the volume everything is. And it won't distort. It just will not distort your sound. And then you just attenuate it in your DAW how you want it to sound. So it's really amazing. So you don't have to ever, you know, turn it down. So you're not, oh, I'm afraid I might be distorting inside the box. Turn it down. You don't. And when you have that singer that sings that really quiet part, and then they get like really, really loud and everything, you don't have to, you know, change and say, oh, well, you're distorting. You got to stop. You got to sing a little quieter. You never have to tell them. It just records them perfectly. It records loud, soft, everything, all, and it has such a low noise floor. You can't, if you do crank up the quiet parts, you're not going to hear any noise. It's there. It's amazing. And you know, that's the thing, is that you're always turning it down so you don't distort it. And then when you turn it up to bring it back, you know, to bring it up, that's when you're actually bringing it. You know, you may say, well, it's imperceptible noise. You really can't hear it, but it's there. And with the Zoom, you're not bringing any noise up. You're recording it the way it is. And that's what's really nice. I don't know what aspect of it, whether if it's the 32 bits or whether if it's that it just records things the way they are, or whether if it's just if it's something else that's doing it. But my ears just say, this is what I've been wanting to hear with my voice. It's just it's like I said, it's not like all excited. It's just, it's solid, and it's the recording is solid when you play it back. It's sticks, and it's there, and it's not constantly morphing on you and moving around, and maybe a tiny bit here and there, but not at all like the other recordings were. So this is how it records.
A love for all time, with your hand in mine, a bouquet to relay a love for all time.
So I wish all of my stuff had been recorded like this. And it's like, unfortunately, it's like I'm at the end of my music career, you know, and I'm just finally getting the 32-bit darn recorder. The whole world is just getting it. So, it's just become available. It's time to switch and to get one and start using it. So please leave a like on my video if you've learned something, if you've got something out of this. Leave comments in the comment section if you'd like me to cover a certain thing, if you'd like me to expound on a certain aspect. If you see me do something and say, what did he just do there? Ask me in the comment sections. I read every comment and I reply. You know, if people ask me something, I reply. Okay, so I will be here and I will reply to your questions, and I just make an entire video around your question, so to help you to understand something that if you don't understand, I know like some of the deepest parts of Cakewalk is I would say this edit and these where is it? No, I can't find it. Insert, process, nudge. Oh, I would have to select a MIDI file maybe. And process. Yeah, this find and change. This stuff, when this pops up and you wonder how to what the heck is this? Okay? And it's really simple. You just turn everything off, or like that you don't want to do, and you say, okay, I want like this note, and I want the minimum or the maximum note, and then I want to, and then you say, okay, and then another window opens up with all the same stuff on it, and you say, I want to change that note to this note. And so it'll look through that whole file of all those notes and change that one note every time it finds it to that other note with that velocity, with that volume, with that duration, with that. This is like amazing. You can find anything and replace it with another thing. And this is a very, very, very powerful tool in Cakewalk. All these things are things I've been using since Cakewalk first came out. Since they first introduced this feature in Cakewalk. I was one of Cakewalk's first customers way back in 1985, 83. Yeah, that was when Cakewalk first came out. That was before Pro Tools. Before Pro Tools was even a program. Cakewalk was, I was using Cakewalk before Pro Tools. So, yeah, that's how long I've been using this program. So if you have questions, ask them, okay? That's how you'll learn stuff. And I am here to do this. That's why I'm here, is to show you how to do stuff. So thank you for watching. Take care. I will see you again in another video at some time soon. And I hope this was enjoyable. I hope you like my music. And have a wonderful evening, day, morning, whatever time of the day it is, or night. And I will see you again soon. And we're going to have a little bit of polka to sing us out. I'm going to go watch a little bit of Netflix and relax. And then I'm going to come back and master this song, mix and master it, and get it, finish it, and put it into a video for my Flock of Angels channel. So take care. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you for the likes and for subscribing and for being here. Just for being here. That's all that's good too. So much love. Take care. All the best to you. I will see you in another videos. Rex Red on CBB TV. Have a good rest of your day. All right. Bye-bye.